Do prohibitions ever work? Probably should look into that before we go and prohibit stuff through purity culture, don't you think? Let's take some modern examples. The Volstead Act of the 20s and whatnot, where we banned alcohol. Had a bunch of Christian upright, just tight-minded individuals deciding that this was the worst thing ever. And instead of actually dealing with the issue and maybe teaching people about consumption and overconsumption of alcohol, teaching people responsibility and accountability in what they do, and allowing individuals make their own decisions, we don't want to deal with it. We don't want to talk about it. We want to ban it completely. And in doing so, what happened? You created organized crime. You created all sorts of headaches and problems trying to regulate and do this. You had an unregulated substance going around the country. You didn't know what you were getting. You could have been getting pure rubbing alcohol and drunk yourself blind within a glass of what you were having because there was no regulation on what was being made. You're just buying glasses of whatever was coming through. And the fact of the matter is it didn't stop anything. It didn't slow it down. It kept going on. It just created a new economy underneath a black market economy, if you will. Speaking of that, the war on drugs with the prohibition on narcotics in our country. How effective has that been? It's been going on since the Nixon administration, bolstered by the Reagans, and still going on today. Millions of billions and trillions of dollars thrown into preventing and stopping us. And honestly, some of the biggest contributors to it are our own government, but we won't get into that right now. We just try to say, no, it's not good, causing crime rates to rise, people getting themselves in dangerous situations, not knowing what they're consuming, no regulation on what was being consumed, just buying stuff in the dark alleys of wherever from whoever to get a buzz, a quick high. So instead of actually taking some education in it, saying don't overconsume, don't do this, this will do this to you if you do this, and regulate and saying this isn't pure, this isn't good, let's just ban it, not deal with it, the typical Christian way of dealing with things, and get rid of it and just cause more and more problems. So why would purity culture be any different? I don't think it has been. Prohibiting the nature of physical relations between people doesn't prevent it. We just sweep it under the rug, don't want to deal with it. We don't want to educate our kids. We don't want to educate our adults for the most part in the church about what is a healthy relationship. What does it look like? What is free and willing to do? What restrictions and consent is all about. No, we don't want to deal with that stuff. It's too taboo. It's too scary. It's too icky to deal with. It doesn't come against it's unbecoming to my graces to have to talk about this stuff in public or even with my children. So we're going to make it illegal. We're going to ban it and say, don't do it. Fight against your natural urges. Fight against what you're designed to do, what you want to do at any given time. Does that prevent it? Well, it didn't with alcohol, it didn't with drugs, so sure as hell isn't doing it with the nature of physical relations in our country. We still have issues all around. We have teen pregnancy within the churches in and of themselves, mainly because we haven't taught them. Half these kids don't know how life is created and don't know what's going on and what buttons to push and what goes where and how this all happens. And wham, bam, boom, all of a sudden you got a little pregnancy going on. And instead of actually maybe dealing with that and talking about, hey, what's the best situation here? What can we do? We want to saddle this young woman with, hey, guess what? You're now going to be a single mom. And you're going to start life, however old you are, sometimes as old as 16, 17, 18 years old, and say, this is what you got to deal with now. And not giving this person a chance to succeed in life, putting them behind the eight ball right away because we didn't want to deal with something beforehand. If we would just stop in all of these things that we've prohibited and just educated, talked about our people, regulated even with the substance abuse and controlled it, but with the physical things, just talking about it and monitoring it and talking about consent and what's good and what's bad and how it happens, how everything works, how much more could be prevented? But because Christians don't want to deal with taboo subjects and it makes them feel uncomfortable and they don't want to get out of their uncomfortableness, they're just going to ban it, sweep it under the rug. It doesn't prevent it, never has, never will. People are still going to react on the urges that they have. And without the education, without the support behind them, a lot of problems are going to come from it. So prohibiting it isn't the answer. Maybe if we actually took away some of our puritanical views on things and stripped it all down and actually talked with our kids, talked with our children, and educated them on it, made it less taboo, made it more of a natural thing to talk about, you wouldn't have these issues that are going on in our country with rampant diseases being spread, pregnancies, that weren't planned on happening because we educated and taught our kids. But instead, we want to ban it. We want to ban having the relation whatsoever. We want to ban protection and all this stuff because it's too icky to talk about. Let's grow up, let's be mature, and let's deal with life head on. It's just part of it. Instead, we don't want to deal with it. We want to cover it under in church. These people are immature. They're emotionally, mental immature because they don't want to deal with the realities of life. If they could just stop, think, listen, and understand, this is just part of it. Let's deal with it and talk about it. There'd probably be a lot less problems in this world.